he wants to make some money, Floyd want to make some money. If he wants to make some money, he could fight
your guy Jake Paul.
No, with him too, but he could fight the Wonder guy, not Manny Pacquiao. Manny won't fight him again. But I'm talking
Canelo?
Not Canelo, Crawford.
Oh, Terrence Crawford.
You can't force Usyk to fight anybody. You can't force anyone to fight anybody. You know, the will has to be on Usyk's side.
Can you miss? And because his range control is so good, he's in. His nickname's the Cat. He's in like a cat, and he is so accurate with what he's doing. He makes you miss, he makes you pay. That's the art of the sweet science. It is the art of getting hit.
Mike Tyson recently said on Shaquille O'Neal's podcast that Floyd Mayweather would get destroyed if he ever fought Alexander Usyk. Tyson criticized Floyd for making heavyweight level money without ever facing real heavyweight threats. He claimed that Mayweather only returns to boxing for the money, not for true challenges. According to Tyson, if Floyd comes back, he'll carefully choose easy opponents and avoid dangerous fighters like Usyk at all costs.
I'm going with heavyweight.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, Floyd feels like in a different category completely.
He made heavyweight money, but I'm talking about the heavyweight sluggers.
Yes. I don't know if we're ever going to get to the heavyweights again.
Huh?
Speaking of Floyd.
No, that's going to come back again. They always come back.
Speaking of Floyd, him and Roy Jones been going back and forth. If they were to fight, give me your opinion on who you think would win and why. And would people want to see that fight now?
Well, listen, people are all going to hate on Floyd, so they will want to see the fight. They want to see Floyd get beat. But are they going to fight?
I know they're going back and forth.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they would matter. If he wants to make some money, Floyd want to make some money. If he wants to make some money, he could fight
your guy Jake Paul.
No, with him too, but he could fight the Wonder guy, not Manny Pacquiao. Manny won't fight him again. But I'm talking
Canelo?
Not Canelo, Crawford.
Oh, Terrence Crawford.
Alexander Usyk has achieved so much in his boxing career that he no longer needs to prove anything to anyone. With an Olympic gold medal and wins over top fighters, including beating Anthony Joshua twice, his legacy is already secure. Yet, despite having nothing left to prove, fans and experts are still eager to know who he might face next.
Which he doesn't have to do, probably, because his legacy is secured. He's done basically everything in boxing. And if he was to retire tomorrow, or what could happen, which has been muted, that he was going to have the Dubois fight and then he was going to have a celebrity fight, you know, like crossover fight with an ex-MMA or something like that, which for me wouldn't be nice, because I think it would cheapen his legacy in some way. But as Addy said, pounds and pence and dollars are what count in this game.
Andy, have you spoken, or has Spencer Brown or Frank spoken to you? Because to be fair to Frank, I've spoken to Frank twice since the fight, and he does always say, it's Joseph Parker next, it's Joseph Parker next. And he says it with a bit of force as well, as though he's promised you guys that you will be next in line. Has there been a conversation with Frank as to what happens with Joseph? Because I almost feel sorry for Joseph now. It's got to the stage where every time I see Joseph, I'm like, okay, look, when are you going to fight? When are you going to fight? And he has this face of, I don't know. And it's upsetting for me as well, just to see him on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's very frustrating for him and for us as a team. But I had a brief conversation with Frank Warren as we were walking back from the ring. I said, it has to be Joe. And he said, we're going to push for Joseph. And Spencer Brown, he said, we're going to push for Joseph. David Higgins, we're going to push for Joseph. But you can't force Usyk to fight anybody. You can't force anyone to fight anybody. You know, the will has to be on Usyk's side.
Joseph Parker is one of the names being mentioned as a possible opponent for Usyk. Though nothing has been officially confirmed yet, other top heavyweights are also lining up, hoping for a chance to face him. But Usyk has made it clear that he only plans to fight one more time. And that statement has only added to the excitement. And
the will has to be on Usyk's side. The will for Joe is there. He'd fight anybody, and as he's shown. But the will has to be, and the want has to be on Usyk's team.
Put your fighter hat on for me if you can, Andy. Again, I mean, I saw. It's funny because the video of Dubois getting knocked out, there's you and Joe in the background, and I can see both of your reactions. When you're watching that, I mean, again, you've seen some of the best heavyweights in the world. You've been in camp with some of the best heavyweights in the world. When you're watching that, are you watching it like myself and thinking, okay, this is an all-time great you're seeing?
First and foremost, I watched it as a fan and I enjoyed the fight. And I thought Dubois started really well. But there's something about Usyk, isn't it? And just this change after round 1, round 2, Dubois was having some success, landing right hands.
Usyk has never been the type to avoid tough opponents or drag out negotiations. He's earned respect not just for his talent, but for always being ready to fight anyone, anytime. While other boxers often get caught up in media drama and drawn out promotions, Usyk keeps it straightforward. Once he agrees to a fight, he gets right to work, no games, no delays. His no-nonsense attitude has made him one of the most respected figures in boxing, admired by fans and promoters alike for all.
The one thing I will say that we have to appreciate from Usyk is how he's so willingly down to fight anybody, right? Typically in boxing, you look at how boxing is structured. You have the Ali Act where a fighter could be like, nah, I don't want to fight him. Okay, well, we're going to strip you of your belt since you don't want to, defend that belt, right? How long does it take us to get a Gervonta Davis to fight, maybe a Devin Haney, or a Ryan Garcia fighting somebody else, right? It takes fucking forever. But now when it comes to Usyk, Usyk, he's a champion. Okay, your next title, person you have to defend against is Dubois. Perfect. Send me the contract. I will be ready. Yeah. You don't get that nowadays in boxing. You don't fucking get that. But when he fights, that's one thing I love about him.
Just beating Daniel Dubois in a rematch, the younger guy, and he's made it look easier against him and schooled him and destroyed him. That is the pinnacle of skill in boxing. That's the pinnacle of the fucking sport.
Becoming a 3-time undisputed champion at different levels doesn't happen by luck. It takes skill, discipline, and heart. Usyk's move from cruiserweight to heavyweight wasn't just about adding size. It was about growing as a fighter and proving he could beat the best, no matter how big they were. His back-to-back wins over top heavyweights like Anthony Joshua showed that he could outsmart and outwork larger opponents. But Usyk's courage goes beyond the ring. He paused his career to serve his country during wartime, showing a different kind of bravery. His mix of discipline, skill, and honor has led many analysts to compare him to legends like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. While they fought in different divisions, Usyk's ability to stay undefeated while climbing through weight classes puts him in the same elite category. His sharp ring IQ reminds fans of Floyd, while his heart and grit bring Manny to mind. For many, Usyk isn't just one of the best right now. He's already earned his place among boxing's all-time greats.
Is Alexander Usyk all-time on the GOAT list? I've seen a lot of debate that he's top 5 already, top 10, shouldn't be in the top 10 yet. So here's my thoughts on it. I think you can put him anywhere from like number 4 to number 10 all time, but he should definitely be in everyone's top 10. 2-division undisputed champion at cruiserweight and heavyweight, and he probably has the 2 best undisputed runs of the 4-belt era. At cruiserweight, he beat everyone in enemy territory. Glowacki in Poland, Briedis in Latvia, Gassiv in Russia, Bellew in the UK. At heavyweight, he beat all the Brits, mostly on enemy territory twice. Joshua twice, Fury twice, Dubois twice. Of that post-Mayweather Pacquiao era, I think he's definitely the greatest. Now, I have Usyk number 8. For reference, I have Floyd 1, Manny 2, Ali 3, Robinson 4, Duran 5, Leonard 6, Roy Jones 7, and then Usyk at 8. I know there's a whole debate right now about Usyk and Ali. Of course, Usyk's more skilled than Ali, but I think Ali's resume is greater, which is why I have him higher. But I'm curious to know how high people have Usyk now all time, without recency bias.
Floyd Mayweather has built his legacy by making smart moves both in and out of the ring. Experts agree that if a fight offers big money with little risk, Floyd is likely to take it. He's known for being extremely strategic, always studying his opponents and choosing ones that fit his plan to stay undefeated. This approach has brought him huge paydays, but it also shows that he's unlikely to take a fight where the risk is higher than the reward. If he does come back, it'll be on his terms with full control and a carefully chosen opponent.
Yeah, you're fighting the best fighter in the world. Yeah. And you're figuring out a strategy of not how do I win, but how do I last?
Yeah, and that was the strategy. I had a good idea that I wasn't going to be able to knock him out.
No, but that's not the goal with a guy like that. No,
Like,
no. But Floyd is the most precise and most. Floyd doesn't care who watches, who likes. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Floyd only cares about the points. Yeah. If the fight is entertaining, it's for him. It's just a strategy. Yeah. So he's kind of like the beast of fighting. You know, beast is like, how do I get the algorithm and the numbers?
100%.
That's how Floyd is.
Do you think he's the great? You think he's the greatest? One of the greatest.
Every
ever,
great fighter in the world says technically there's nobody better.
Yeah.
Every single.
Joe Rogan has often praised Floyd Mayweather for his incredible defensive skills. In one of his talks, he explained how Floyd can stand right in front of his opponent and still avoid getting hit. He doesn't rely on flashy punches or constant movement. Instead, his timing, shoulder rolls, and small, precise motions make him nearly impossible to land a clean shot on. This frustrates his opponents and causes them to make mistakes. Rogan pointed out that even when Floyd looked like he's doing nothing, he's actually controlling the pace of the fight with his mind. His defense goes beyond physical moves, it's psychological warfare. On the other hand, Usyk's footwork is also something special in its own right.
It's all like slight slips away, and it's slight motions, which is all you need to get away from a punch, right? You don't want to move too far. You're wasting a lot of energy and you can't counterattack. One of the best things about Floyd and one of the most brilliant things about him, he's one of the most elusive fighters of all time, but he didn't move around. He stood right in front of you and you couldn't fucking hit him. That's true mastery of space and true mastery of technique. In my opinion, he's the best boxer that's ever lived.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not qualified to rank people, but I watched when he was making that ascent towards it. Ended up being 50, you know.
He just fought last weekend. This weekend, yeah, he fought a match against John Gotti's grandson, which is crazy.
That's scary for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons, right? But this is the second time they fought. The first time they fought, it ended in a brawl. Like a bunch of people jumped in the ring. It was crazy because they stopped the fight because they were talking too much shit to each other and holding on to each other too much. So the referee stopped the fight for whatever reason, I don't know. And in this fight was even crazy too because the first referee was terrible. And the referee said Floyd Mayweather hit him behind the head. Absolutely incorrect call. Floyd threw a right hand and it caught him on the side of the head, and the referee claimed that it was behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. He stops the bout. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here! Get out of here!"
Because he's the promoter, also.
Well, I guess. I mean, also it's Floyd Mayweather. Like, what's the referee gonna do? Fuck you? You know, I'm gonna stop the fight. Like, also they're in Mexico City. Like, you could get killed. Like, just get out of the ring, buddy. So Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100%.
Adam Catterall once compared Usyk's footwork to ballet, and it's a surprisingly accurate comparison. He moves around the ring with such smooth, fluid motion that it almost looks effortless. His balance is always perfect, and he constantly shifts angles, making it hard for opponents to pin him down. In contrast, many of his challengers end up looking slow and stiff. Usyk's rhythm and timing throw off even seasoned fighters. He's quick without being frantic, aggressive without losing control against heavyweights who rely more on power than speed. His grace and precision make all the difference.
I did notice his foot movement. He was just moving. He was just moving away, so Dubois couldn't hit him.
Couldn't get near him.
And then when he was punching Dubois, he made him look like in football terms, he made him look like a non-league player. He made him look bad.
Mate, that's the beauty of Alexander Usyk. His training with his little mate Vasyl Lomachenko, they came through the pro ranks together, well, amateur and pro ranks together, and their training regimes are completely off the textbook. They don't do it like everybody else does it. There's a lot of ballet, for example, that they use. There's a lot of gymnastics. There's a lot of different techniques, you know, in their training that they incorporate into the game. And you can see it with the way that he fights. He is like a brutal ballerina. His footwork is absolutely sensational. What he does, he stands in range just enough, so therefore the guy that he is fighting believes that he's going to get hit in a moment. So therefore mentally you're constantly working, and therefore you're throwing at times where he's then making you miss. And because his range control is so good, he's in. His nickname's the cat. He's in like a cat, and he is so accurate with what he's doing. He makes you miss, he makes you pay. That's the art of the sweet science. It is the art of getting hit, hitting and not getting hit.
Lennox Lewis, one of the greatest heavyweights in boxing history, recently gave high praise to Alexander Usyk. He said he would have welcomed the challenge of fighting Usyk, calling him a puzzle that no current fighter has been able to solve. Lennox believes he might have figured Usyk out, which speaks volumes about how much he respects Usyk's skill. When a legend like Lewis feels compelled to weigh in on Usyk's dominance, it's a...
Jürgen Cassius, IFL TV. Appreciate Lennox stopping. A stunning win there for Alexander Usyk tonight here at Wembley. What did you make of it?
Great win. You know, he did the right things. He did a lot of good things in the fight. I thought Daniel came out a bit too strong. You know, should have took his time, especially the first round. And, you know, he was overreaching a little bit and he got caught.
Is there anyone on this planet, an active fighter, that can beat this man? He's got back-to-back wins or double wins over Fury, Joshua, and now Dubois. I mean, it's phenomenal coming up from cruiserweight.
It's phenomenal. I wish I was in this era to box because I would have loved to box him. And, you know, I can't see why nobody can't figure him out. I would be able to figure him out. Oh, yeah, Usyk is the best of this era. And he does the right things. He moves well. He doesn't get hit. And he's elusive. And he's hard to beat.
Lennox, just the final one. What would be your advice to Daniel Dubois? He's come back from losses before, obviously Joe Joyce, etc. But what would your advice be to this 27-year-old lion?
Keep up with boxing. You know, this shouldn't. You know, he should learn from this and bring it to the next fight. I don't think he should quit. I think he's got a long, good life in boxing.
Lennox, much appreciate your time this week. Have you got anything else you'd like to say?
Yes. Lennox Lewis is the best. I lay them all to rest. I'm the pugilist specialist. Nobody can test.
Love that. Top man. Thank you.
Chris Algieri, a former world champion and boxing analyst, praised Alexander Usyk for not just winning fights, but making world-class opponents look average. He highlighted Usyk's elite control of distance, timing, and strategy, noting that his success comes from intelligence and skill, not brute strength. Algieri believes there's no real threat to Usyk among today's heavyweights, calling his mix of calmness and dominance truly unique. Usyk's rise through the ranks has been defined by his refusal to take shortcuts, facing top opponents at their peak and never waiting for an easy path. His legacy is built not on padding his record, but on consistently challenging himself against the toughest competition available.
Has dropped Daniel Dubois. I'm sorry. I can't help it, man. I fucking love this. Honestly, I fucking love this game. He's missed it! It's over! It's over! The greatest of all time! Fuck me. I'm sorry for going on like a lunatic, right? But it was unbelievable. And it's funny how this fight all came about, right? The controversy in the last fight, which for me was never controversial. It was a low blow, simple as that. And I don't think we've ever seen Alexander Usyk ever look for an easy way to win. In fact, I think of all the fighters on planet Earth, he is the one who takes the hardest road to win. There's no tune-up fights for Alexander Usyk. It's the biggest fight in a heavier weight than he should even be fighting at, and he makes life harder for himself, not easier. And I think he has proven his character time and time again. But yet he was accused of not being, you know, a real Christian because he was a cheat. He was accused of deserving an Oscar because he was a play actor and robbing Daniel Dubois of what should have rightfully been his, which was a world title. And after the Tyson Fury fight, Daniel Dubois stepped in the ring and called him out. And Alexander Usyk immediately turns to Turki Al-Sheikh and says, Mr. Excellency, make the fight. He had no problem in setting this up. And immediately you kind of think he was in the middle of talking about his, you know, his father, I think at the time. It was an emotional moment. That's a time where when you've accomplished what he's done, you deserve respect. And I think he was disrespected there. And I think he took that personally, in the words of Michael Jordan. Now, in the first round, Alexander Usyk did exactly what he needed to do to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois coming in with a load of confidence, wanting to be the aggressor, wanting to be the dominant bull that he was against Anthony.
Paulie Malignaggi, a respected boxing analyst known for his sharp technical insight, gave Alexander Usyk high praise after one of his most impressive performances. He called it a masterclass in modern boxing, highlighting how Usyk's footwork isn't just quick, but incredibly smart. By constantly shifting angles and subtly adjusting his stance and balance, Usyk controls the pace of the fight and becomes nearly impossible to hit cleanly. Malignaggi explained that this forces opponents to either overcome it or freeze, giving Usyk the perfect chance to counter. What makes him even more dangerous is that he doesn't depend on knockout power. He breaks opponents down with precision, rhythm, and superior ring awareness. According to Malik Naji, this rare blend of mental and physical control is what sets Usyk apart from everyone else in the sport today.
And their rematch stops him early. Was it 4 or 5? I don't even. I'm so caught up in the moment. I don't even know which round it was. It was 4 or 5. But man, it was in the first half of the fight. What a performance by Alexander Usyk. And a lot to discuss here, guys. A lot to break down here. First off, Dubois much more successful in the first fight than the second fight. Was the wet ring? Did the wet ring have anything to do with it? I saw in the post-fight interview, Dubois was asked about why he couldn't land his jab. What do you guys think? Was obviously Usyk's gonna make some adjustments. I think the adjustments are gonna be made in rematches. But did the wet ring? Because I thought the wet ring had a big part to do with why Usyk had some trouble in that first fight. And a wet ring hurts footwork guys more. I was a footwork guy. I've worked out sometimes in wet rings. It's frustrating. I've actually thrown temper tantrums in gyms over rings being too wet. So back in the day, not now. But what I'm saying is, to fight in a wet ring, that had to have some effect on Usyk and his footwork, because he's a footwork guy. And tonight you just saw his footwork was stupendous, magnificent.